Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today we're going to do a ranking of credit card banking apps. The apps on your phone that you open up on a regular basis to check your balance, to see if a certain charge has come through or not, maybe to check your credit file and to see what your current credit score is. I think most of us who are deep in the credit card hobby probably use multiple apps every single day. So, which are the best ones and which ones are lacking? I'm going to be able to share my opinion, and it will be my opinion, and others may strongly disagree. But let's look at it together and just have a little fun with it. If you would, please hit the like and subscribe button as we dive in. I use credit card apps every single day. In fact, I probably open up, 6 or 8 of them every day, and some of them multiple times a day. And I'm checking for things like, did that charge come through yet? Or, and this is a big one, have I received my credit back on some particular thing that I'm supposed to get a credit on the card? Like a Resi credit or a rideshare credit or something like that. So I'm opening up these apps all of the time. There's other things you might use the apps for too. Most of them have a pretty good ability to show you what your credit score is, to show you what things are on your credit file, and that might be helpful as well. So these apps are very, very useful. Also, if you have a bank account with that particular bank that you also have a credit card with, it's usually all in one place, which makes it very, very helpful as well. So which of the apps are better? And this is just kind of a for fun ranking because we're going to use them whether they're great or whether they're not. I just thought it might be interesting to share with you which ones I think are really the gold standard on apps and which ones could really improve the experience customers have when you're going through the app to find out about your card or your bank account. So let's dive into it. And I'm really going to examine 9 of them today. And these are the ones that I use. So there will be some that aren't on here, like Synchrony Bank. I don't ever use Synchrony Bank. I think we do have one card, the Sam's Club card with them, but I never, ever open up an app with them. So I'm not going to examine ones I don't use. And some of these I use very little, and that probably, just in all full disclosure, that probably will affect the ranking. One in particular, I know it will, and I'll point that out when we get to it. And this ranking doesn't reflect how good their cards are. It doesn't reflect how good the bank is or their ecosystem. We're just talking about how useful the app is, in my opinion. So as we go through, I would love for you to make your comments down below and make your list as we go through these 9 different credit card apps. Now, the 9 I'm going to look at are Chase, Citi, Capital One, American Express, Wells Fargo. I'm going to look at Barclays. I'm going to look at Discover. Then we're going to examine Bilt. And finally, Bank of America. So we're going to start at the bottom. Number 9, what I think is the worst app of them all is Bank of America. I cannot stand that app. This is very difficult. I hate that it doesn't show things like how many points you have. Like if you have an Atmos card like I do, it doesn't really give you much information about your Atmos account. It's like they are hesitant to link those two things together, which to me is very frustrating. Now, of course, like all of these banking apps, they're going to be just as good as the others about showing you what things have come through on your account and what things are pending. So those aren't the things that we're discussing. They're not the things that differentiate these from one another. But when it comes to Bank of America, they're just, if I had to list one that I would least like to use, it's definitely going to be the B of A app. Number 8 is going to be Barclays. Barclays app is a little better than B of A's in my opinion, but it's not good at all. So in this app, it's going to show different cards. I have a Hawaiian card. I also have one of their American Airlines cards. And on one of the cards, it shows me how many points I have in the ecosystem, and on the other one, it doesn't. So it's like inconsistent. It's like the different partners that they work with, where they issue cards for them, that some of them, they have different access than they do with others, which is strange. So even though it's slightly better than the B of A, I still have to put it at the bottom of the list at number 8. Now, number 7 is really heavily influenced by the fact that I never, ever, ever use this card and I hardly ever open up the app. And it's not that bad of an app, but what do you have to use to track for Discover? And it's the Discover app. Now, I will say it does have a pretty good means of checking your credit file and your credit score, which kind of gives it some benefit. And maybe if I looked at it closer and used it more often, I would see it as higher on the list. But I do think for sure it's better than Barclays and B of A, but I'm going to put it at the number 7 spot. Number 6 on my list is Wells Fargo. It's fine. I have some accounts, bank accounts with them too, and it all lumps together. Used to have a mortgage. It was all there too. It's fine. I would say that the Wells Fargo app is, it's acceptable. It's just your typical run-of-the-mill banking app. It doesn't have anything particularly special about it, so I'm going to put it at the number 6 spot. Number 5 is not really a credit card app, but it is a rewards program app, and that would be Bilt. And I put it there at number 5 because the Bilt app to me is a little bit too much. I mean, it's very busy. It has a whole bunch of stuff on the main page, and you can get over to your credit card. And I understand it's not a dedicated credit card app, and you can see things there, but it's just got so much going on. And in my particular case, it's just not all applicable to me. So it does have credit for having so much information, but it's just kind of like information overload, at least to me. So I put it at number 5. Now we get to the ones that I use the most, the top 4. And at number 4, even though everybody who watches this channel knows they're probably my favorite issuer overall, and I do a lot with them. I open up this app multiple times a day. But number 4, I put the Citibank app. Now, Citi, it's not bad under any stretch of the imagination. You can scroll through your different cards, and then you click on them, and then you see more information. I guess the reason I put them at number 4 is that certainly it's a usable app, but I would prefer it if they had more information on the main screen, the one that you open up when you go in, like some of the others do. On the Citi app, you can get all the same information, but you have to kind of go to the individual card to find it. And it's not as intuitive if you need to find things like your credit score and things like that. So I think the Citi app, even though it's fine and I like it, I use it all the time, I put it at number 4. At number 3, I put the American Express app. Now, American Express app, even though it is kind of a little busier, and that's because it's got so much going on, and even though it's not as easy to find a few things you might need on there because there's just so much there, I do think that because of it's at the bottom of the page, you're going to see things like your offers and your membership. And if you go into those, you'll see things like special credit card offers. And you see, of course, all the offers for merchants that you have on your cards. I think it's just a very, very good app, especially for American Express and the way their ecosystem works. And to me, it's the 3rd best app. Number 2 is the Chase app. I think Chase has a fantastic app. I have some accounts with Chase bank accounts. Also, I have a bunch of credit cards on there, and you can scroll through. The only reason really it's not number 1 is I have a business card with them, and unlike American Express, all my business cards aren't on the same page. You got to have a separate business card account, and you got to, if you go into the app with that, you can kind of click over with a toggle at the top, but that's kind of annoying. But one of the things I really like about the Chase app is the credit journey is right there on the main page. Now, you do have to click into it to go over to see your score, but it's very easy to do. It also shows you your total ultimate reward points, which I think is kind of a neat feature. So I put the Chase app at number 2, and number 1, I think the best app, and this is just my opinion, but I really like the Capital One app. Capital One puts everything right there on the main screen. It puts your credit score, not just a button you can click to go over to your credit profile, put your credit score right there on the main page. It also puts your total points and your total cash back. If you've got some of those cards right there together, you just click on it if you want to go and move points or whatever it may be. And of course, it has all your cards listed there. So I just think the Capital One is smooth. It's easy. It looks good. I mean, it's a really, really nice app. Now, in all these things that we discussed today, does any of this really matter? Not at all. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and use the best card and the best ecosystem, regardless if it's the best app or the 9th best app, because ultimately this is just for fun and to talk about which ones maybe are the gold standard and which ones are a little lacking and I wish they were a little better. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. But I'd love to see your list about the apps down below. Which is your favorite? Which one do you like the least? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my list? Like I said, it doesn't really matter either way, but it's kind of a fun exercise. If you would, consider my channel membership, $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. There's details down below. Also, I have several links to credit cards and to my Amazon shop. If you use any of those, I'll get a small commission, and I appreciate that very much. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you here next time.